To say the first couple of days here of this NFL offseason period have been busy would be an understatement. And as you know, the Texans traded DeAndre Hopkins to the Cardinals with 632 catches in his first 7 seasons, tied with Antonio Brown for second most ever. And then Kirk Cousins and the Vikings, a 2-year, $66 million extension. Minnesota then traded Stephon Diggs to the Bills for 4 draft picks. The Cowboys re-signed Amari Cooper to a 5-year, $100 million deal and put the franchise tag on Dak Prescott, who's won 40 games in 4 years. We'll see where that goes. And then, of course, yesterday, the biggest news of all, Tom Brady to the Buccaneers. He'll become the first player to change teams after spending 20 seasons with one franchise in NFL history. And all of those are not nearly all that we've seen. As we mentioned, Phillip Rivers is moving to Indianapolis on a 1-year deal. After the news of the Panthers are allowing Cam Newton to explore a trade, they signed Teddy Bridgewater to a 3-year deal. And oh yeah, the NFL's all-time leader in passing yards and touchdowns, Drew Brees, is staying put in a 2-year deal to stay with the Saints. And after all of that, the Buffalo mayor, Byron Brown, had this message for Bills fans who might be celebrating the departure of Tom Brady.
For those of you that want to celebrate Tom Brady leaving the New England Patriots and hopefully leaving the AFC East, there are no mass gatherings. Celebrate responsibly, celebrate at home, and with less than 10 people present.
All right, I've got Dan and Marcus back with me here, and let's go quickly here, guys. Let's put the Bucs to the side. We understand they got Tom Brady. That's great. Beyond them, Orlovsky, who, in your opinion, has been the biggest winner so far?
Kyler Murray. I mean, the fact that Kyler Murray got DeAndre Hopkins to add to that arsenal in Arizona is a big, big deal. 2 reasons why, Greeny. Number 1, Kyler Murray loves to throw the football down the field, and DeAndre Hopkins is one of the best down-the-field receivers in the NFL because he has such a great catch-on-contact talent, meaning he can go up and high point footballs even though the DBs will be draped all over him. Not a big deal. So you're going to add him to Christian Kirk and Larry Fitzgerald and another speed guy maybe like Andy Isabella. Kyler Murray was a massive winner at the start of free agency, and I expect him to be on the short list for the offseason when it comes to the offensive player of the years in the NFL in 2020.
Swagoo, give me another winner.
I got to go Miami, man. I love what Miami did defensively. Obviously, Byron Jones, Kyle Van Noy coming over from the Patriots. I think they have something cooking over there. Using free agent wisely, using their dollars, and obviously stacking it up in the draft. Do they go get Tua now and have the quarterback to compensate for what they have? Man, I like what Miami did with this free agent period, especially solidifying on the defensive side of the football. Xavier Howard and Byron Jones are 2 quarterbacks that people are going to have to pay a lot of attention to in this upcoming season, and guys now that can get to the quarterback. I love what they did.
Yeah, the Dolphins have been very busy, and it'll be interesting to see what they wind up doing at quarterback. They've been attached to Tua Tagovailoa for a long time. We'll see if they go there.
Yes.
I will leave it there for the moment, guys. Thank you, and we'll continue in a moment here on Get Up. And when we are done, First Take takes over. Tom Brady headed to the Bucs. Does that make them the team to beat in the NFC? Stephen A., Max, Molly, and me will discuss that. First Take in 11 minutes right here on ESPN. Be busy all day long. Right after we wrap up here, it is time for First Take. Then SportsCenter at noon Eastern follows them. Then NFL Live with the very latest from free agency at 2 o'clock Eastern. SportsCenter tonight, 6 o'clock Eastern. Our primetime NFL free agency special is at 9, and we cap off the day with SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt at 11 o'clock Eastern time. If some of you are just joining us, you might see on social media, Michael Irvin said some things here attributed to DeAndre Hopkins about Bill O'Brien, which were, to say the very least, incendiary. But of course, this is Michael Irvin's version of the event. So we are making all of the appropriate phone calls, and certainly as further reaction is available from DeAndre Hopkins, the Texans, or otherwise, we will pass all of that along as quickly as possible. Elsewhere, the news of the day remains Tom Brady, who has now expected to sign with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and will go play for Bruce Arians, a quarterback-friendly coach, after all these years playing for Bill Belichick. The question is, would they be interested in bringing in Antonio Brown? Perhaps interesting here, this was, I'm going to play for you now, this was Bruce Arians on Adam Schefter's podcast talking about that.
Too much miscommunication, too much diva. I've heard so many stories, and I like Antonio. He plays as hard as anybody on Sunday, and he practices hard. They just got to make better decisions off the field, be on time, do some of those little things.
So that was Bruce Arians talking about Antonio Brown not all that long ago. This is Max Kellerman, and Stephen A., I'm told, is with us as well. We have First Take coming up in just a moment here. So we'll just give you guys each a very quick moment to give a thought on this, and then we will move over across the hall. What are your thoughts on the possibility of Antonio Brown joining what is already a pretty stacked group of offensive weapons in Tampa?
Well, Brady made the decision to try to win, not just to go to L.A., which I'm impressed by. If they get Antonio Brown, what it really points out is I never claim Brady's a bad quarterback now, but he's in the middle of the pack somewhere, even if you think it's high middle. He's not elite anymore. When people say Brady needed more weapons, oh my God. You mean what Tampa has is not enough? Outside threats, slot, multiple tight ends, and they're going to add Antonio Brown? Yeah, I'd say Brady needs weapons.
How about, am I told Stephen A. is there? Do we have Stephen A. Smith as well ready to go? If I'm told that we do, then yes, we do. Okay, there he is. Stephen A., what are your thoughts on the possibility of AB and Tom Brady together in Tampa?
Well, obviously, we know that Antonio Brown is a head case. He's somebody that can't be trusted. He's somebody that, you'll be around. And, even his agent is scared to tell him certain things, or his former agent, Drew Rosenhaus, because he was scared that he was going to be taping conversations. So you take all of those things into consideration, and it's clear it's something to be concerned about. But Tom Brady is Tom Brady. He's a six-time champion. He knows what it takes. And you went to these extraordinary lengths to get him, to sign him to a 2-year, $60 million deal, at least if the report are correct, that's what you're doing. If Tom Brady wants Antonio Brown and he's willing to absorb that as a potential problem, if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you have to do it because you've had a losing record the last 3 years. You've been moribund to say the least. You're desperate for relevancy in the playoff picture and what have you. And you went out and you got a 42-year-old quarterback that's a champion, that's the face of your franchise now, assuming this happens. And so if that's the reality, then you give Tom Brady what he tells you he needs in order to be successful, and you roll a dice and go from there. If you're somebody else like the Patriots, of course you don't have to do that. But if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, desperate times call for desperate measures, even if you don't know when Antonio Brown will be allowed back, because there's still the legal issues hovering over him, which might incite the NFL to definitely hand down a suspension.
All right, Stephen A., I'm going to leave you there for a moment. I'm coming across the hall to see you in a minute. There are 2 minutes and change. Max, head over there. We will do First Take in a few minutes, and as always, I will join them off the top of that show. Meanwhile, I put a poll on my Twitter page yesterday, and we got a lot of votes. And look at this. I asked the question, which team do you think wins more games this coming year? Tom Brady's old team, the Patriots, or his new team? And almost 62% say they believe it will be his new team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And let's put that to Dan and Swagoo as we finish up Get Up For this morning. And guys, thanks for being with me all morning long here as we have gone through this. Swagoo, I'll start with you. Do you believe the Buccaneers will be better this coming year than the Patriots will be?
Absolutely. No doubt in my mind, G. I believe that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be better. We mentioned that they lost 6 games last year, 1-score games. Obviously, the turnovers, Tom Brady erases all of that. He's the great equalizer. This team is already super talented. They'll win more games than the Patriots. We don't even know who the Patriots is going to start at quarterback. How in the hell we going to say they're going to win more games than we know Tom Brady turning up in Tampa?
Look at Orlovsky. Swagoo, I don't know if you can see him, but I can. Go ahead, Dan.
I wanted to make sure that I reached into the archives, Greeny, and pulled out the helmet that maybe one of us was right about with where Tom Brady was going to go. I finally do agree with Marcus Spears. The Bucs will win way more games than the Patriots next year. Patriots have a lot of holes on their football team. What? You like it? The Patriots got a lot of holes on their team, Greeny. They got the toughest schedule in football. Yeah. The Bucs are going to be competing for the 1 seed in the playoffs. Just wanted to bring this helmet up for you, Marcus. What do you think about it, bud?
Well, first of all, if I could see the helmet, it'd be great. What helmet is it, Dan? Please tell me. Because you
what
like
helmet do you think it is?
This gloating by you. I'm gonna make sure. Is it a Tampa helmet? What helmet is it?
Oh, good job.
Guys,
it just so happened to be.
It puts a smile on my face to see both of you like this, and I thank you both for being with me this morning, and I thank you for spending your time with us and getting up with us today. We'll be back and better than ever tomorrow, but the conversation continues with First Take next.